Good morning.
Good morning.
How are things?
Good.
Good. Hi, Mackenzie. You guys ready for Christmas break?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this will be our last warm-up for today. So make sure you guys have your caps and ends, your complete sentences, and then turn them in they're going to be 12 points this time. So. And you're going to turn in 2 other things today. Well, they're not due today, but I would turn them in because we're going to do them together. So I'm going to try to get that stuff in ASAP so that you guys have an idea of where you are before you take your exam. And our exam, I believe, is next week, Tuesday at 9:15. So we'll be a little bit early, convening on Tuesday of next week. The slideshows for breakfast that you're supposed to read that article and then do like a slideshow. Those are, I think they were due yesterday. And if we have time at the end of the hour, we'll work on those. But I'm just not sure how much time I'm going to have because I need to get through a couple things with you. Oh, it's due today. Okay. And I probably put a time on it before class, maybe. So we will talk about that. Just trying to see something. Okay, so just kind of FYI. All right, we're gonna start the warm up since we've got a roaring crowd today. Make sure you put something in the chat, like a greeting of some sort or an emoji, just so I know that you're here, mind and body. And I will present my screen to you so you guys can start the warm up. It's just a general question, not real specific today. Okay, let's see here. I'm in the wrong spot. Oops. Here we go. Slowly but surely. Okay, I'm on camera, so it doesn't like that. Oops. Okay, so it's just a general question. What are you looking forward to the most during Christmas break? And we're going to take 2 minutes to write about that, and then we're going to reconvene back. So 2 minutes on the clock starts now. And if you get done with your warm-up, pull out your label guided notes because we're going to finish those today and get them turned in. I'm going to grade them today, get them in the Power School. And then we have the MyPlate to do and get done so that you have that to look over before your exam. One minute remains.
Good morning.
Good morning. Did everyone get the warm up or do I need to show it again? Okay, I guess. Yeah, so Caitlin, yeah, you're supposed to have 6. So that's 12 points. So hopefully you have that. If you have 5, it's okay. I did do the reason you guys only have 5 is because we had Thanksgiving break in there and that Thursday we didn't have class, but the Wednesday kids did. So it is in there. It's either way. If you give me 6, I'm going to give you 12. And if you give me 5 and do them all right, I'll still give you 12. Just to stay on the same, you know, wavelength as everybody else. So either way, it's going to be okay either way. All right, let's see here. All right, so hopefully you get those turned in so that you can get those points. That's my hope anyway. And we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna do 2 things at notes. I'm gonna go into Google Classroom, just give you a rundown of what's gonna be happening. So, okay, so the warm-ups aren't due till Friday, but if you have them done, I would turn them in. Like I said, I'm gonna score them immediately after this class and get them in, as many people that turn them in. The food label notes is what we're working on today, and we're going to finish that up and turn them in. And then this CAMI, I didn't have a lot of people do the assignment, so I have 1 turned in. And then if I go up here, I have 2. So this is a big assignment. It's worth quite a bit of points. So it's one you don't want to slack off on. You want to make sure that you do that one. Okay. It's due tomorrow, so just get it in. I'm going to score it as soon as I get it so that you have a good idea of where you stand in the class before the exam. We're going to then.
Today?
What was that?
Do you have office hours today?
I do. Yeah. 2 to 3.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And then then we're going to do the MyPlate guided notes. So we'll get those done and turned in. And then any notes are okay to use on the exam except Google, like I always say. And then I also put in Google Classroom this exam review. I'm not going to score it. You don't have to turn it in. You don't even have to do it if you don't want. But it's just for those people, like for me, I would like a teacher to put out, some similar questions that might be on the exam so I could look them up, make sure I know them. But I'm not scoring it. So if you do it, that's totally your call. I might go over it a little bit before we take the exam on Tuesday, because we do have a 90-minute slot section. So I might take, 20 minutes and just kind of review and then do the last part with the exam. Okay. But what you'll see on the review page is similar to what you'll see on your test. So just so you know what's up and coming. And then this breakfast, the most important meal of the day. I will try to get to that if we can at the end here. And I'm toying with, pushing a little bit of the MyPlate stuff into the new 9 weeks. And this could be one of them, but I also don't like to have things linger over 2 weeks and have you come back and be like, okay, well, what did I do? What did we talk about? So it's possible that we'll do as many as we can at the end of the hour. And if we don't get to you presenting, then, it's not going to be, it's not going to affect you in any way. Okay. But I probably will score the assignment just because of the fact I don't want something lingering 2 weeks and then have you guys come back and have no idea what we did or what we talked about. So does that make sense? Hopefully. Okay. All right. So let's go into our guided notes on labeling, and we're going to finish those up and get those recorded. So if you could go to that note page, it should be in Google Classroom under food labels. And I will cue you with like what numbers on the worksheet you need to be filling in on this slide. So like for this slide right here, you should have filled out numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 11 on your note page. Okay, so I'll say that again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 11. So the food label started becoming a thing back in November 8th, 1990. They refer to it as nutrition facts. Since the Act, nutrition facts have changed dramatically, and the goal was to develop an accurate and useful food labeling label consumers could use to make healthier diet choices. Many elements of the food labeling do remain unchanged, and we're going to talk about that coming up. But those again were for your answers for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 11. You should be able to get that information off this slide. And if I could just have someone be like an MC, like if you got those numbers and you're good to go, if you could just unmic and say, yep, good to go. Or ready or something, so I know that, if you have them done, probably the majority does. And also, if you could watch the chat too, either respond to the person asking a question or you can cue me. So again, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 11 that you should have got an answer from this slide for. Does anybody need assistance on that? I'm hearing crickets, so I'm not really sure what's going on in your heads.
I'm still filling it out.
Okay, thank you. Somebody help. Respond.
What's 11?
Okay, number 11. Hold on. I took a picture of it so I could see what number 11 was. Okay, so nutrition labeling is also called nutrition facts. That's at the top of your slide. The very, very, very top. It says nutrition facts. So that's your number 11.
I'm sorry, what are you talking about? Like, what are we doing again?
Okay, it's all right. So you need to go into Google Classroom and pull up the document that says labels, food labels.
Review notes?
Yes.
All right, yeah.
Yes. Yep. And then when you pull those up, this slide that I'm showing you right now gives you the answers to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 11.
1, 2, 3, 4, and 11. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. And just let me know when you're done so I can switch to the next one. If you could, please.
So 1 is nutrition facts?
1 is, no. Well, it's asking for a date for number 1.
Oh, I got you.
Okay. So let's just run through this. Who can tell me what number 1, what was the answer that should be in the blank? Anybody can tell me.
November.
Yeah. And then number 2, what goes in the blank? Crickets. Nobody knows what number 2 is?
Nutrition labels?
Yep, that's right. And then number 3, what are the 2 blanks?
Consumers.
And is there another one that's in that same sentence or no?
Yeah, my bad. Healthier.
Okay, that's great. Okay. And then number 4, what's the one missing there?
Unchanged.
Yep. And then what about number 11? Which one goes there?
Nutrition facts.
Yep. Awesome. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and move forward. Remember, this is recorded. So if you didn't grab it, you can always go to the recording and look it up real quick. All right. So this next slide, you're going to find answers to 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. And there is a typo on A. It says address. It should not say that. It should say allergies. Okay. So that's a typo. Anyway, back to this. So food labels do have requirements, and I tried to give you guys an acronym that would help you remember so that for the test, you can think back, okay, the word was labels is the acronym, so what did B equal or what did L equal? So one of the L's, you have to have the legal or common name of the food. This describes the food product inside the package, container, etc. A stands for artificial flavor or preservatives and any allergies causing foods. So you could use the A for artificial flavor or allergy. They both start with A. And then B is business or company. So the name, address, city, state, zip code. E, each nutrient. So fats, protein, carbs, vitamins, minerals are all part of that. And then L, list of ingredients from the most to the least. And then serving size and amount. So the weight, the volume, plus calories. Okay, so that was 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You should have gotten those answers off of that slide. So let's see if you did. So if you know how many letters are in label, that's how you find out what number 10 is. And what is that number? What's number 10?
6.
Yep. And what's 12 then?
Legal.
Legal, yep. And then what about 13? It should say, remember, stands for, you could either have artificial flavor, blank, blank, or you could have allergy. What would you say?
I put artificial flavors and allergy.
Okay, you just make sure address is out of there because that doesn't go there. And then what about 14?
Each nutrient.
Yep, absolutely. And 15?
Most to least.
Yep, and 16.
Serving size and amount.
Excellent. Okay, fantastic. Thank you for helping out. All right, so hopefully you got that. Here's our next slide. You're going to get the answers for 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 on this one. Okay.
What was
So,
15?
what's that?
What was 15?
15. Hold on, I got to go back to my picture here.
Most
15.
to least. 16.
Yeah, most to least.
16.
Yep. Oh, and 16 was serving size or amount.
Okay.
Are we good?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. So again, this next one is going to give you the answers to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So these are things that are optional on a food label. A picture. If you're going to have a picture, it's got to be the actual representation. The UPC code, Universal Product Code, is at the bottom. You can kind of see that's what a UPC code is. All your food products and things you buy have a UPC code. I know at Christmas time, especially, you know, like let's say Walmart has 10 whatever size TVs and they have 2 on the floor and they have 8 in back. And so when people buy, they would need to know that, you know, that if a customer comes in and wants that TV, they have to know how many more they still have in the store, you know. And so when people scan it, it subtracts that number so that they know, you know, how much they have in the store. The only issue is sometimes when people buy stuff, they shop around and they don't purchase it right away. So it could show that they have 8, but they might only have, you know, 6 because there's a few people in the store that are going around with the item in their cart and haven't cashed out yet. So that always does happen sometimes too. But that's what the UPC code is, and it allows us to scan and keep accurate inventory. Code numbers, which identifies the plant or factory and the batch number. That's in case of a recall or a concern or question. Remember, we talked about the FBI's foodborne illnesses, and they would really need to know exactly what factory produced that, what specific batch it was in, so that they can pull that specific item from the shelves. So that's really important. A date, this is going to ensure proper stock rotation. So when you buy stuff, the date that should be at the front should be the one that hasn't elapsed yet. You know, so like milk should be in the front that says, you know, like today's what, the 10th. So it should say 10 or back from that. Okay, it shouldn't say 9 or 7 or something along those lines. That should have been pulled from the stock. Symbols such as trademarks, copyright, box tops, etc. And then light, low fat, and reduced are all examples of descriptors that they might use on their packaging to try to get you to buy them. Fat free, heart health. I mean, there's all sorts of descriptors that, what do you call them? The commercial companies will put on products to get you to buy them. Light could also mean the color, but a lot of people don't look at light as color. They look at it as that it's light in fat or light in calories or something like that. But the company is trying to pull the wool over the consumer's eyes, and basically light explains the color sometimes. Okay, so that was numbers 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So let's see if you got those. Okay, so who can tell me what should have gone in 5?
Picture.
What should have gone in 6?
Scanning.
And what about 7?
The plant and factory.
Yep, or the batch number. And then what about 8?
8 to 8.
And what about 9?
Light, low fat, and reduced.
Okay, good. So did I answer all of them? Did I go through them all?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So I'm just going to finish this out. And while I do that, you guys can turn in that assignment. Okay, so just some other things that you probably learned or will learn when you do the web quest, but serving sizes are listed in common household measurements like cup, ounces, teaspoons, tablespoons. Percent daily value is also on the nutritional fact label, and that's your recommended nutrients needed based on your 2,000 calorie diet. Remember, nutrient density is the comparison of the nutrients provided by the food with the calories provided. And then your serving size is the amount of food item customarily eaten at one time. So, you buy a big bag of chips, it feeds, 8 people, you eat the whole bag. So you have to take those numbers and times them by 8 because you ate the whole thing. And what is described on the label is 1 serving. Okay. And that's for most labels that they're going to describe that. A little plug on food diaries, which I think there's a question on your exam about a food diary. It's a record of the types and amounts of food beverages consumed for a given time. So when I do a food diary, it helps me be accountable for what I'm eating. And it also helps me keep track of what I eat, how much I eat, and, maybe why I might see a weight gain or a weight reduction or no weight change. So it's really important to document foods just to give you an idea of what you're eating, because a lot of times we just start, shoving stuff in and we don't really think about the health consequences or what's in the food that we're eating. RDA stands for recommended dietary allowances, and those are suggested levels of nutrient intakes to meet the needs of most healthy individuals. However, RDA are not available for every known nutrient. I think that's a question on your test too. So the RDAs are not available for every known nutrient, just so you know, and keep that in mind. Okay, so what do you guys know is not on a food label? Or sorry, what does not have a food label? What doesn't require one? Or what food product have you bought recently that didn't have a food label on it?
A fruit.
Yeah, like a fruit. You go into the produce aisle, you look at apples, they don't have a label, oranges. If I went over and bought like cilantro or romaine or cabbage or something like that, peppers, they're not going to have a food label on that. Okay, so definitely raw fruits, veggies. If you went to Meijer's to their meat counter, they're not going to have a nutritional label on the foods that come over that counter. Foods that contain insignificant amounts of all required nutrients don't have a food label. So like tea and coffee don't have a food label. If you bought food coloring, it doesn't have a food label. Spices, and then bulk foods, like if you went to Horrocks, let's say, and you bought their peanut butter that they have there, it's not going to have a food label on there. It might tell you how much it weighs and what it is and how much it costs, but it's not going to tell you how much protein, carbs, vitamins, minerals that it has in that product, okay? So that doesn't have to have a food label as well. Whoopsie. All right. Any questions on that part? You're all able to fill out your food label. You're going to turn it in so I can grade it as soon as I'm done with this meet today, so we can get as many grades in as we can so that you know where you stand before Tuesday. Okay. All right. So now I need you to go back into Google Classroom after you turn that in. And I need you to pull up MyPlate guided notes because I need to finish this with you guys today because some of the MyPlate stuff is on your test. So you'll have this note page to kind of help and guide you during that exam. Okay, so open that up and we're going to fill it out kind of the same way we did our nutritional, our labels. And I probably won't go through it like I did with the fact label, just because those were kind of like all over the place. This one is in order, and you just have to follow along with the slide to match up with your notes, okay? All right, so is everybody on the right page? You found what you needed, you're ready to go for the MyPlate notes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so this is the universal symbol of MyPlate. It doesn't ever change, so if we were in school, I would probably have you draw this and make it up, and there'd be some requirements to it. We might still do that too after the break, but we'll see. All right, so this is a visual tool that is used to help people plan healthy diets, and it's based on gender, age, and physical activity. So I think that could be like maybe a true and false question on the exam or something like that. So just know it's a visual tool. Obviously, you can look at it. It's visual. And it's based on gender, age, and physical activity. Okay? All right. So the red, I always look at the red as like an apple, fruit. You know, that helps me remember that that red group is fruit. It is the smallest, and it's in the upper left part of the plate, and you need 2 cups a day. Based on that 2,000 calorie diet. Whoops. So just keep that in mind. All right. So the main nutrient, and this also probably is on your exam, is vitamin C, which is why I highlighted it. You know, I always just think of like oranges, you know, big vitamin C fruit. So that helps me remember fruit is the nutrient is vitamin C. Any fruit or 100% fruit juice counts as a member of the fruit group. So read those labels carefully. We usually shop at Walmart, and I'm always going down the juice aisle, and there's a billion juices. And I have to look really carefully because we buy a certain juice that's 100%. And sometimes I end up grabbing the one that's fruit cocktail or something. And I get home and I'm like, dang it, I didn't want that one. And so, you know, don't do what I do. Look carefully. And so now I do more or less, unless I'm in a hurry, but you want to look for that 100% juice if you're going to count it as a fruit. Okay. You can't count the ones that, you know, have the cocktail in them and stuff like that because they are made with a lot of sugar. Okay. When you buy fruits, try to focus on fresh first, frozen second, and then canned or dried. Fresh is best. Canned, the only problem with canned fruit is that they usually put a syrup to it. So if you're going to buy canned fruits, always buy the one that's light syrup. And then when you get home and you open it up, rinse it. Because that syrup, I mean, it's just like syrup. I mean, it's sugary syrup that your fruit has been sitting in. So it's got a lot of higher sugar count than maybe the fresh fruit. And fruit already has sugar. So, you know, it's just part of the canning process, but it doesn't do us any favors. You can, you know, fruits whole, cut, pureed, you know, you can buy them any which way. And, you know, depending on what you're cooking. Recommendations is make slightly less than half of your plate fruits. 1 serving of fruit. So if you want to count, because you need 2 cups a day. So if you had 2 apples, that would be your allotment for fruit. But they, you know, don't, you know, you buy those huge ones at Walmart, that would probably be 2 servings because those apples are ginormous. If you drinking juice, 8 ounces, it's got to be 100% juice if you're going to count it. And then dried fruit is a half a cup, okay? Because they suck out all the water that's in fruit. So a half cup will get you 1 serving. Are we good to go on this one? Could I get a yes? Okay. All right, moving on to veggies. So the green part, and I always think of like, veggies, a lot of them are green. So that kind of helps with that veggie, remembering that it's green. It is the largest section. It's found on the lower left, and you need 2.5 cups of veggies a day. Okay. So I always remember carrots because carrots are a really good vitamin A source. So, and that's a vegetable. So that helps remember that the vitamin is A, or, you know, again, any vegetable or 100% vegetable juice. So like if you bought a V8, let's say, that would be constituted as a vegetable. There are 5 subgroups. So I think I might have misspoke the other day and said there were 6. There's actually 5 based on their nutrient content. So I think that's a question on the test. So just remember 5. The subgroups are dark green vegetables, starchy vegetables, red and orange, beans and peas, and then other veggies. Okay, so that's a total of 5. And then just give me a yep, ready. I can remember when I was growing up, we used to read these books that have chimes. So you'd sit there and the audio recording would be reading the book, and then there'd be a chime to turn the page. I don't know if you guys ever had anything like that. I know I'm old. I'm sitting here dating myself. But nonetheless, you guys are alive out there, aren't you?
I'm ready.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. Here we go. All right. So just continuing on with that recommendation, make half of your plate vegetables. Vegetables may be raw, cooked, frozen, fresh, canned, or dried. Remember, best to buy raw. Next would be frozen, fresh, or I'm sorry, canned or dried. You got to be careful when you cook vegetables though, because if you cook them too long and they're like overcooked, they won't have many of their nutrients left. So having a little snap in them is not a bad thing. You don't want to, munch on something that should be cooked and it's like raw, but just it needs to have a little bit of snap left. Beans and peas, you can decide what food group you want to put those in. They could be a vegetable or they could be a protein. Like if you're vegan, obviously, you want to incorporate the beans and peas because you're not eating protein like the regular proteins that are animal products. You're eating veggies. And so you want to substitute beans because that's where you're going to get your protein. And, protein's really important. All right. So then we have, yes.
Can you go back to the first part of the vegetable one?
This one or this one?
That one.
Yep. Just let me know when you're done.
I'm doing this one too.
Okay, good. So yeah, just give me a heads up when you guys are ready, so then I know I can turn. Are you guys ready?
Oh, I'm good. That was for him, not me, because I seen
that
his chat.
That was Bryce, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Bryce, are you ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so we are now on grains, and that is your orange. And I know that grains don't take on an orange appearance, but they're kind of like orange can be kind of a darker brownish color. So that's how I remember that grains are orange. They are the second largest, and they are found in the upper right, and you need 6 ounces of those a day. okay, in the 2,000 calorie diet. So the main nutrient there is carbohydrates. There's two types of carbohydrates. There's the complex kind and then there's the simple kind. So complex would be like fiber and starchy. You're looking at, like a potato would be a starchy, whole grain would be fibery. And those stay with you a lot longer. So that's why your coaches want you to have a good starchy, fibery dinner the night before a competition, because then you have energy to last through the whole game. But if you just had cereal the night before and then got up and had cereal or coffee, or that kind of stuff doesn't stay with you long, because it's a simple carbohydrate, meaning it's so simple that the body just burns it up so fast and it's gone. The complex ones stay in your body longer and are able to give you the energy that you need. So a serving of that would be a slice of bread, a cup of cereal. But if you're going to cook something, and this is on your test, so listen up, rice, cereal, and pasta are a half a cup is considered a serving. Okay. So just keep that in mind, because there's a little bit of a problem on the test with that. So you have to remember that a half a cup of pasta is one serving. Okay, so if there was 2 servings of pasta, then that would be 1 cup. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. And it provides a lot of energy. So carbohydrates are a good thing.
I'm good.
Okay.
Did you on the half? Did you mean the exam or the test?
Well, the exam, actually, I'm pushing the test into the exam. So it's going to be on the new stuff and then on the old stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Which is why I'm trying to give you guys notes and things to help you along. All right. So I think I did this one. All right. So the amount needed is based on your age, gender, and physical activity level. Make at least half your grains whole. And then there's 2 subgroups to grains. There's our whole grains, and then there's the refined or the milling process. Remember yesterday I showed you the picture of the grain. The whole grain had everything still intact. And then when they refine it, then it only has one part of the grain intact, and that's why it's not as good for you.
I'm done.
Okay. All right, purple. Now purple, I don't really have a way to remember that one. So you'll have to do, P&P, protein purple. I don't know, maybe that helps. It is the 3rd largest, and it's found in the lower right. Again, 5.5 ounces, 2,000 calories. So this one's an easy one to figure out the nutrient. Protein, the group is protein, pretty simple. All foods made from meat, poultry, seafood, beans, peas, eggs, processed soy products, nuts, and seeds are all part of this protein food group. You want to make sure that you're choosing meats that are low in fat and lean. And the best ways to prepare protein is to bake it, grill it, or broil it. Those are the best ways to keep the nutrition intact and to get the biggest bang for your buck to eat them. So when you take a chicken and you bread it and then you throw it in the deep fryer, and a lot of the nutritional value that was in the meat has been zapped out from the high temperatures that you cooked it, and then you're not getting as many nutrients as you might need.
I'm done.
Okay. All right. So.
No. Please go back.
Yep, I can. Now you just have to tell me when you're ready. Are you ready?
Just go ahead. I'll come during office hours.
Okay, you sure? I can wait
Yeah, I
another.
don't want to take up too much time.
You're fine.
I'm like at the beginning of this.
All right. Well, I'm going to give you 30 seconds, so write as fast as you can. And if you still need to come to office hours, you can. You have that ability. Bryce, you got your phone on you?
No, it just died like 2
Oh,
minutes ago.
shoot. Of course it did, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say you could screenshot it, or take a picture of it. All right. I'm going to go ahead. And then again, if you need come to office hours, I will be there. No worries. Okay. So I highlighted what could possibly be on your test. So 1 serving is 1 ounce of meat. So in poultry, fish, or 4th cup of cooked beans, 1 egg, a tablespoon of peanut butter, or a ½ ounce of nuts or seeds. Okay, so all of that is 1 serving. If you wanted to have a visual, if you think about a deck of cards, that is about 3 ounces of protein. So I know I go to Sam's and I buy my chicken breasts there in bulk, and they're ginormous. I bet you they are almost 6 ounces. So what I do when I get home is I cut all the fat off of them, and then I cut them in half, and then they resemble a deck of cards. Okay, but just think about that when you eat. Put in your head a deck of cards down next to your protein, and if it fits, that's 3 ounces. If it's a little bit bigger, then you might need to add a couple. Okay, but that's just a good visual or good rule of thumb to remember, that 3 ounces of protein is the same as a deck of cards. You are encouraged to eat 8 ounces of seafood per week. The nutrients from these food groups are vital for health and the maintenance of one's body. And you want to choose foods from this group that are high in saturated fats and cholesterol, may have health implications. So when you choose foods from that group, they are high in the saturated cholesterol. It is found in any animal meat. So if you eat animal meat, you're getting cholesterol. And it's kind of that waxy substance that we don't want a lot of in our body. Yes, are we ready? There wasn't a whole lot on this slide.
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so dairy, this one is off the MyPlate. It's actually a cup next to the plate. And you need about 3 cups of that a day on a 2,000 calorie diet. Blue, not really sure how to get you to remember that blue means dairy. I'll have to think about that one. Not sure. All right, so most people know that milk is a rich source of calcium. That one's kind of a no-brainer. All fluid milk products and many foods made of milk are considered part of this group. So choose the low-fat, fat-free dairy products. Remember we talked about Neufchâtel is a third less fat. So if you're going to go with a cream cheese, that's what you want to use. But cream cheese is not always counted in this group because it's not got a lot of the nutrients that some of the other calcium-rich milk products, dairy products have. So there's a positive side, is that it builds strong bones and healthy teeth. And the recommendation is to try to, if you're going to drink milk, try to do fat-free or low-fat. If you get into 2% and D milk, you're adding a lot of fat in your diet that you really don't need. I mean, you're getting fat in a lot of other places. You shouldn't be drinking a large amount of your fat. Okay, so I know my family, all I buy is skim, and so that's all we know. So that's what we drink. But if you can't stomach that, maybe do a 1%, 0.5%. Try to wean yourself by, if you're on D, maybe try doing a 2% for a little while, and then maybe mixing a 2% and a 0.5% or something like that, just to try to wean yourself on a lower percent, just for your health. I mean, you don't need, like I said, that kind of fat in your diet. give me a yes, we're ready, and then I'll know.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Okay. All right. So this one you only have 2 to write down, so it shouldn't take you that long. But foods made from milk with little to no calcium, those would be like cream cheese, cheese in general, and butter. Okay. They are not part of this group just because they're not high in the calcium. So individuals who cannot digest milk should choose lactose-free products, but make sure it's a good source of calcium. Because you guys are still growing and developing, 4 cups is not unheard of for you to be consuming this early, this early in your life. And what constitutes a serving is 1 cup or 8 ounces of, milk, yogurt, half cup of cheddar cheese. So, just think of 1 serving as a half a cup. It's not a cup. And then 2 cups of cottage cheese is a serving. So, if any of the cheeses, cottage cheese would be your best option. Some people don't like cottage cheese, but
I'm done.
okay, good. All right, now oils are no longer considered a separate food group, okay? But they usually are mentioned like off to the side on like a MyPlate page or something like that, but they're not considered part of the food groups. But oils are fats that are liquid at room temperature, like vegetable oils used in cooking. They come in many different plants and fish, and they are an essential nutrient. We do need our oils, and they are best coming from fish, avocados, olives, canola oils, soybean. Those are going to be your best oils to choose from.
I'm done.
Boy, you fast. Dang. Supersonic. All right, and just the last couple is that, try to stay within your calorie needs. Always look at the facts labels. Try to remember the 5%, 20%. Physical activity most days of the week, that's probably what we're not getting a lot of right now. So if you can go outside and walk around the block, you need that for your physical health, if not more so for your mental health. So, those are key also to the MyPlate. So if you're going to eat according to the MyPlate, you have to make sure that you're also including the exercise or physical activity piece. All right, and this is where we'd have this project that I wanted to do with you, but time has got the best of us. So unfortunately, we don't have time for it. I know you're all broken up over it. I can hear it in your voices, even though I don't hear them. Okay, so what I'm going to tell you is, if you followed along with me, and like I said, you can come to office hours if you want, or you can just watch the recording and go back and just make sure you got everything on the MyPlate. But if you're good to go, I would just turn it in, because like I said, as soon as this hour is over, I'm going in and I'm going to give points to anybody that has them in right now. Because like I keep telling you, I want you to know where you stand with everything that you've turned in up until the exam. Okay. If you turn something in and I haven't scored it and it doesn't have a lock on it, maybe remind me. Usually I get a notification, but sometimes like I'll open it and I'm like, I don't know, in Walmart or something, because I got pinged and I'm like, what just pinged me? And then I open it, and then then I get home and I forget that I opened it. So just if you can look at Power School and know whether you turn something in or not, and just remind me. But I usually try to keep a pretty good look, an eye on what's going on. So hopefully I haven't missed something. All right. So these 2 things we just turned in, the MyPlate, the food labels, the Cami, I really want you guys to get that done, because it's a lot of points and some of you really need points. And it's not hard. It's just going and looking at a document and transferring the information over. That's how difficult it is. Not. All right. And then we're going to do a little bit of the breakfast stuff for anybody that has it done and can present on it. Is there any questions for the good of the order before we start this about the exam? Because I won't see you again until the exam. So I want to make sure that, your questions get answered, or a concern you may have, anything.
Can I stay after just like a few minutes to
Yeah,
go back to
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely, yes.
We
It's
can
not
use
like
our-
the exam, but that Cami thing, you returned it, and like I did it, and I turned it in.
So what did I do? So did I score it?
No, you just returned it,
Who was this? Who am I talking to?
Caitlin.
Oh yeah, I already scored it. It's in there.
Oh, okay, thank you.
I got it. I'm good. I looked at it right before class again and I corrected whatever I did crazy. So you're all good. It's no worries. So
we can use all this stuff on the exam, right?
yep. Yep. So it's available to you. Just don't be Googling stuff. We don't have time for that shenanigans. All right. Anything else before we start on presentations here? Okay. And I'll go, let me look at the chat really quick. I don't know if anyone's watching that. Okay, no, wait. Yes. All right. Okay. All right. So I think we're all set. So I'm just gonna pick someone at random that's here today. And we got quite a crowd going on here, so I'm gonna have to pick wisely. All right, so let's go with, is there anyone that wants to go first? Anybody, you know, I know you're all itching.
I have a
Want to
question.
get it. Brianna, was that you?
Yeah.
Okay. What did you say you would go?
Oh no, I didn't do it yet. I'm doing that today. 'Cause
Darn it.
I like to do all my work on a Thursday, so then I don't have to do anything on the weekend.
What about Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday?
Oh no, I wouldn't do that
Oh, you're killing me.
unless it was due on a Monday, Tuesday.
Oh, okay. I see you. Okay. All right. So, like Zach or Caitlin, can I get a what if you would be willing to go through your slides? Yes, Miss Sevka, I would be more than happy to do that for you, right?
I can
Sure.
go do it, but I don't know if I did it right.
Oh, well, we're going to find out. All right, so Miss Caitlin is on the hot seat. So I'm going to present whatever you did here. Where is she, Caitlin? Is it in here? Oh, there it is. Hello. I needed to scroll down. My mistake. All right. So you were supposed to read the article and then tell us some of the facts that you found to prove that breakfast was the most important meal of the day. Does that sound like what you did?
Yeah, but I don't know when you meant like facts, if you meant like the titles of like the paragraphs and then do like separate facts for that, or just like have like 5 to 7 facts all together.
Do you have 5 facts?
Yeah.
Then I'm good.
Okay.
Okay. So here we go. Let me pull it up for you. I'm sharing my screen, right? Okay, I am. Okay. Just didn't want to be doing something that no one can see, obviously. All right, so I will be your MC. You'll be your little clicker here, your Vanna, and then you go ahead and read your slides. So go ahead.
Effects of not eating breakfast. It slows down your metabolism. Not eating when you wake up causes a message to be sent through your body to save fats and energy. Not eating breakfast regularly can affect your metabolism and slow it down long term. Some people believe that it is a myth, but it's not. If you aren't a breakfast person, you can always eat later in the morning.
I like your visual.
It can help slow down aging. A 10% to 15% calorie restriction on a regular basis can help for a longer lifespan in chronic diseases. This doesn't work for everyone.
Catherine.
Cortisol levels are a stress hormone. A study showed that not eating breakfast made the stress levels of this hormone increase. The levels of this hormone increasing can lead to weight gain, immune problems, and increase in a risk for diseases and blood sugar problems.
Okay, good job, sister. All right, let's see. Zach, are you willing?
Oh, mine is nowhere near as good as hers.
You're my tech dude. What happened?
Well, I didn't put as much information on mine.
Well, let's just see. We'll have two different versions. Don't panic. It's going to be A-okay. Let's just see what you got, what you came up with. Take a deep breath. You're fine. Okay, here we go.
Okay, I was really tired when I did this and did not mean to put Zach Slay on there. That's my gaming name. Okay. What happens if you skip breakfast by me in the
I better
article?
watch out for you, Mr. Zach Slay.
Oh, dang it. I'll fix that. No worries.
That's going to be your new name, you know. You're in trouble now.
No.
All right, go ahead.
Metabolism. It is proven that skipping breakfast can lower your long-term metabolism. It won't affect you right away, but later on it starts to have a long-term effect, and your brain will tell your body to store fats since you didn't eat. And that's a picture of food.
Oh, sorry. That picture of a breakfast food, it looks delicious.
Can skipping breakfast make you gain weight? Experts are split on this subject, but in a way it does. You feel hungry and eat more snacks, and you will also have the mindset that you didn't eat breakfast and can eat more for another meal, which could cause you to gain weight. Can this affect your brain? The answer is yes. Your brain will be affected since it is fasting all night and didn't have any glucose. It will affect your brain's performance when doing tasks. Can cortisol levels increase? In fact, they can. Cortisol levels help with stress inside of the body. Skipping breakfast raises your cortisol levels that can have a negative effect on your body because it thinks that skipping breakfast is a stressful event. And this includes weight gain, and you are at a higher chance of getting disease. And that is the chart of skipping, or that's the chart with breakfast and stuff.
Yeah.
Is it true that you're more likely to get a headache? Yes, from not eating breakfast, you lack the nutritional things that your body needs to run. Lower blood sugar and over caffeination are the main factors from skipping breakfast. Something positive. There's something positive when it comes to skipping breakfast. Skipping breakfast can reverse the effects of aging. Experts highly recommend that you talk to a doctor before doing this because it's negative.
Okay.
And in conclusion, it is very unhealthy to skip breakfast and it has many negative effects.
What are you talking about? That was excellent. You're too hard on yourself.
Well, it only took me 20 minutes to make, so.
Yeah, well, I think that's good. I mean, it wasn't like I gave you a 20-page article to, figure out. It was a short little article, and I think that's definitely a great job. To me, I think you did fabulous. All right, so I'm going to give these two some extra credit for presenting. But if you want some extra credit, you can always come to office hours and present it to me, just because we're not going to have any time, and I want you to still be given the same opportunity that Zach and Caitlin had. So I am in office hours today from 2 to 3, and then tomorrow, I'm looking at you change your name. And on Friday, I am available from 11 to noon. So please come. Even if you just want to chit chat, that's okay. I usually sit around staring at a dead screen. So anyway, does anyone have any questions for the good of the order before we head on out of here? Just make sure that you tell me goodbye or something in the chat. If you need me for something, just stick around and we can chit chat about it. But remember to get your work in, because I'm going to be scoring it as soon as it pops in there. Thanks, Zach. You too, Slayer. All right, Bryce, what can I do for you, bud?
All right, Mr. Zepka, it's just me and you in here.
Oh God! Somebody
right.
call the police.
Man. All right, so I am missing 1, 2, 3, 4 of the ones on grains and 2 of the ones on protein. And
Okay.
then I don't want to take up too much of your time, so I can just come during office hours to finish the food label.
You're not taking up my time. That's what I'm here for. I'm your teacher.
Well, yeah, but
I know. It's all good. I just as soon help you and clear it all up so you don't have to worry about it the rest of the day.
well, I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. All right, so here's the MyPlate. Tell me again what you needed so I can go to the one.
Grains.
Oh, here?
Let me look.
Okay.
Can you go like one more slide over? It's like it starts with the based on your. Yep, right here.
Okay.
All right, and then I need 2 for protein.
Okay. Is this the slide you needed?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and then I turn this one in.
Yep.
Okay.
And then you need the labels?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me go grab it. I clicked off of it. Okay. Okay, so tell me what numbers you need. So
Okay, let me look here. I need 1 on 3, 4. I need the 7, 8, 11, 13, and that's it. Yeah.
hold on, let me get there. Okay. So on this slide right here, you should be, hold on, I gotta put on my notes. Speaker notes. Okay. So on this slide I'm showing you right now, you should be able to find 1, 2, 3, 4, and 11.
You said 2, 3, 4, and 11?
1, 2, 3, 4, and 11.
Okay, so 3.
And I can help you if you get stuck on one.
All right, understand to make the.
Just tell me which one you need.
3 to
So
make
3 is
healthier.
it says the goal was to develop an accurate and useful food label consumers could use to make healthier diet choices. So that's your number 3, consumer and healthier.
All right, and then I'm gonna go to 4 here.
And 4 is the last one on the bottom there.
Unchanged.
Yep.
All right, and then I'm gonna shoot down here to 7.
Do you have 11 done? Because that one also is for 11.
No, I don't. Here, let me
Okay,
get-
so number 11 is nutrition facts.
Okay, and then 7.
So 7 is on this slide. And it says right there, the third bullet, code number.
All right. Code number identifies and
You should probably put in the blank something like plant or factory and the batch number. Either any of those would be fine.
Alright, and then is 8 on there too?
8. Let me look. Yes, 8 is the next one down.
A date?
Yep.
Alright, and then 13, and then that's it.
Okay, so 13 is right here, and it actually, number 13 got screwed up. So where it says address, I don't know if you can delete that, but it shouldn't say address. It should say artificial flavor, and then
Artificial. Okay.
and then you could have in the blanks preservatives and allergy.
Alright, and then is 14E?
14, yeah, is E, right? So you would put each nutrient in there.
Oh, alright, yep, I got it.
Okay.
Alright, thank you.
Yep, you're all set?
Yes ma'am, I am.
Okay, and try to do that web quest because that's 30 points. That would help you out.
Web quest?
Yeah.
Okay, what do I do on that?
So if you look on your screen, I can kind of run through it with you.
Okay.
Okay, let me get to where we need to be here. Don't forget to do your article on breakfast too. I don't know if you did that or not.
I'll have to do that.
The Google Slides.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the one that I'm talking about is you can use it with or without Cami. Like if you've never used Cami, maybe you should do it without, but whoops, that's with Cami. We want to do without. All right. So what you do.
Oh yeah, I see what you're talking about. I was trying to get this
Okay.
done, but like I couldn't figure the Cami whole thing out.
Okay, so you don't have to use Cami if it's too confusing. So
Okay.
what you would do is just open this with Google Doc, like what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you would have to go back and use the links here. So you just click on the link and it should tell you verbatim, word for word, what goes in there. You just have to look for it. So like the first question on the template, it says, what's on the label? And so this just tells you right here, it's servings, calories, percent daily value, and nutrients. That's what's on the nutrition fact label. So then that just goes here.
Okay, so that's all just like everything's right on that website?
Yeah, just in here, like the next title thing, you just click on this. Well, you got to go back, but you click on that and that will take you right to the section that you need and to fill that one out.
All right.
Okay, so everything should be right there. It shouldn't be like, you shouldn't have to search around. I mean, you know, it's just basically looking at something and taking the information and putting it in the document. That's it.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yep, thank you.
All right. Well, we'll talk to you later. Email me if you have questions.
All right, thank you.
All right. Yep. No problem.